All right, all right. Now let's get into the big one. Let's get into those Voyager class figures from Transformers Legacy Evolution, courtesy of Hasbro Pulsecon 2022. Oh man, okay, so we got two Voyagers, two big names, two big ones, two awesome ones. Let's do this. First one we got Leo Prime, aka Lioconvoy from Beast Wars 2, aka Beast Wars 2nd, the Japanese exclusive series. This has been a trademark that Hasbro has been keeping around for the past almost decade now. They registered it with some old generations repaints from the Leo Breaker mold and just kept it alive on the western side all these years, waiting for this moment. And what we have today, to quote Mark from Hasbro, is a little mini masterpiece in a lot of ways. It looks absolutely fantastic, and it sucks that we didn't get to see everything of this just yet. I'm pretty sure the photos are going to come sooner or later, but man, there's a lot going on here. So, for people who aren't familiar, this was the leader character from the Japanese exclusive anime series Beast Wars 2, aka Beast Wars 2nd, and he was just this cool lion transforming character. Had a matrix of leadership, his Energon matrix. He had his buster weapons and his main. So much stuff was going on here. And they took a lot of the tooling and ideas that they had from the Masterpiece toy that they did not too long ago based on Lioconvoy and put it here with the Lio Prime version. I love how, they decided to go with a much more stern, realistic looking lion face for the alt mode. But at the end of the day, it kind of works out because while the anime had a more anime kind of, Simba the lion, people know what I'm talking about, looking face for the lion mode, but when he transformed into robot mode, that lion face became very stern and metallic. It kind of works for the robot mode, which is how we're going to display most of it, let's be real. So it looks really good, combined with the fact that you also have the Lion Typhoon gimmick. He had the Lio Typhoon attack where all his mane went up and there was all these missiles and stuff, and he did it in the show, and the original toy also had that gimmick back in the day, and they maintained it in the Masterpiece. So that's really amazing that they pulled that off and did that. He has his flip-out claws both in his robot mode and his alt mode. Again, a gimmick that existed both in the original toy and in the show. They even have little blasters that could be attached to, again, these 5mm pegs on him so to kind of emulate his shoulder, not his shoulder, his wrist guns that he had, which the original toy didn't have, but this one does. So that's really cool. Articulated jaw for the lion mode. So that's a nice little extra addition. And, of course, we didn't get to see it, but I'm pretty sure the images will show up. We also a Matrix of Leadership storage opening chest. That is so cool. Very excited about this one. Lioconvoy, he had his original toy, which, in all honesty, as great as it looks in photos, if you've actually messed with one in person, is kind of finicky. It's one of these more finicky Transformers that just looks good in photos, but the second you start messing with them in the articulation, you realize it's a little bit flawed in design, but still looks nice in photography. And then they had the Robot Master one, which was pretty awesome, but very tiny. And then they did the Masterpiece, and the Masterpiece was really cool. Really, really good. They just did recently the Black Lioconvoy Masterpiece, and if you could get any way to get that mold, that's a really fantastic Masterpiece. And now we have this one that's a mini Masterpiece, and I'm like, damn, man. That looks really good. That looks really, really good. And to have this character done in that style, not just a repaint of another lion character, but an original Lioconvoy, Lio Prime toy released in the Western market in normal retail in a Wave 1. Fantastic. I am super hyped about this. He looks great. I just want to see more. And then they could do all the repaints from that. Galva Lioconvoy, Black Lioconvoy. They'll get a lot of mileage out of this mold also. Nothing will be wasted here, to say the least. The next one is a big one. This was one we were talking about Super 7 not too long ago. And they were making toys of characters that maybe Hasbro just didn't have the guts to do at the time. But he's here. Let's talk about Voyager class Decepticon Justice Division Tarn. Tarn finally has his toy. So this was designed by Yuya-san, along with the original designs by Alex Milne. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Looks really, really good. And they even pointed out that, you know, on top of all that crazy articulation they did and how nice it looks and the transformation into the dual buster tank, they made sure that it had light piping in the head sculpt. That way the eyes could glow orange, because they wanted to homage a cover that Alex Milne and Joshua Perez, Alex Milne drew it and Joshua Perez colored it. And Joshua Perez's coloring of the eyes obviously resonated with Mark and the Hasbro crew. And they wanted to kind of emulate that iconic cover. I'll obviously post it on the screen here. And it looks really good. It looks really good. The articulation is top notch for a Voyager class figure. And he looks really good. And his evolution gimmick that he has, and it's funny because the Lio Prime one, the evolution gimmick, they didn't really emphasize on that, but a lot of the Beast Wars ones kind of stand aside from the overall gimmicks. The evolution gimmick with Tarn here is his double buster cannon, his double buster ion cannon could combine to make one giant long like cannon. And, you know, again, continuing that evolution idea of multiple weapons that could be upgraded and combined and stuff like that. It looks amazing. It looks really, really, really good. And all I have to say now at this point is if you were looking at the Super 7 one, I mean, maybe still don't cancel your pre-order because, I mean, that's the only way you're going to be able to get Nickel, because Nickel comes with Tarn. So don't cancel your pre-order just yet. But, I mean, this thing looks fantastic. It looks really, really good. I mean, the only complaint I have, and again, it's more so just they probably didn't want to have to deal with it, and at that price point, you know, for it to get lost and stuff, just no removable mask. It would have been cool to have the removable mask, but I think they really wanted to have the light piping with the glowing eyes. And if anyone knows how Tarn's face looked, I don't know how they could have worked A and B together, if you know what I mean. Again, I don't want to dive too much into it if you haven't read the More Meets the Eye books, but I think this is great. It's incredible that just in this Voyager assortment, you have a extremely obscure Japanese Transformer character that never in any shape of media form was available in the Western market. He just had a few repaint homages, and that was it, really. And then you have this comic book exclusive character that really only a small audience of fans know. I know that after this news broke, a lot of people were going like, who's Tarn? You know, they didn't know. And so that to have like in a Wave 1, launch wave 2023 Voyager class assortment, two characters that are deep cuts for like a second tier of the fandom that really like, you know, the outside stuff of Transformers, that's fantastic. And it's a credit to the Hasbro crew and how they really want to give people those characters that we have not gotten yet in the Western market, or at all in this case. This is technically Tarn's first true transforming figure, because that Super 7 one, while that was announced first, that's probably not going to be hitting people's hands for a long while. So this is fantastic, super hyped. Obviously, there was some statues and stuff like that too that were done with Tarn and what was it called there, the Kudabakia stuff. But this is the real deal right here. A transforming Tarn figure, looks amazing. Let me know what you think, guys. I am super hyped about this one. We still got a couple more things left that we're going to cover, and then we're going to call it a day. And then tomorrow we're going to have the Saturday Night live stream. It is going to be bananas.